Welcome back to In the Know. We are talking about de-stressing and detoxifying, and we've got our registered holistic nutritionist Shannon Kadlovski here. That's a mouthful, Miss Shannon.
Yeah, it sure is.
Our next topic of discussion is energy boosters, because that can also contribate to stress as well, right?
That's the whole thing too, right? So when we're stressed out, especially in those times of chronic stress, our body becomes so depleted that we don't even have the energy to get through the day.
Exactly.
Not only are we not combating our stress, but we don't physically have energy to get through the day.
And you become a little bit more irritable as a result, right? Because you're tired, you've got all these things to worry about, you're stuck in traffic, and then you blow.
Exactly. So we want to make sure that as we're trying to combat our stress and deal with our stress and get through our daily life, that we have the energy to do it. You want to make sure that your brain is functioning properly and you have the energy. So the first item on my list is protein. And protein, I'm talking about protein in general, but specifically in this case, I've chosen to talk about protein powders, okay? So this one is a raw vegan sprouted protein, which means that it's sprouted from whole grains. So there's no animal products in that. If you're not a vegan or a vegetarian and you choose to have, let's say, a whey protein, make sure you're getting 100% whey protein isolate and that there's not extra fillers and chemicals. So look for a natural brand of protein. And the rule of thumb is to get about 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. That's how you know your protein intake for the day. Okay, so it varies person to person, obviously. So in order to figure out what's best for you, use that kind of calculation.
Okay, and if you don't want to have a protein shake or powder, what can you eat?
Well, okay, so nuts and seeds are a good source of protein for us as well. Lean meats, things like tofu or tempeh are really good sources of protein. Nut and seed butters are a good source of protein for us. We're going to talk some more about these superfoods in a minute. So these are also good sources of protein to get into your diet as well. And protein is so important because it helps to stabilize our blood sugar, right? So, and it keeps us feeling fuller and it keeps us energized. So without adequate protein, whatever we're eating is going to spike our blood sugar levels, cause us to spike, cause us to crash, and we're going to have nothing to allow us to recover. So it's really important to get adequate protein for energy.
My favorite is the Greek yogurt.
That's a good one, yeah. Greek yogurt is very high in protein for us. It's a really good source of protein. So if you're not vegan or vegetarian and you have yogurt in your diet, that would be a really good choice. Yeah.
Good for me. You teach me so much, Shannon. I was telling you that earlier, but I thought I'd broadcast it as well. Okay, this stuff that, you know what, quite honestly looks really weird. Oh no, or do you want to start back over here?
It doesn't really matter. I was going to talk about the cacao, but we can go, okay, we'll talk about the cacao.
Okay, cacao. Which I tasted last time.
Yes, so we talked about the cacao was on my top 10 kitchen must-haves list last time, and now it's on my energy boosting list. It's going to be on every list that I have going forward, so expect it. It's raw chocolate. And it really helps, again, to boost our serotonin levels, helps to produce that feel-good chemical, and it's also a really good source of magnesium. And as we mentioned with the powder earlier, the magnesium citrate powder, the magnesium really helps to restore and protect our nervous system. So again, helping us cope with the stress, in addition to boosting our energy. It actually, the cacao itself, it helps to boost our energy as it is.
We've got just about 30 seconds left. The cacao's okay for blood sugar regulation, right?
It is. There's no sugar in the cacao. It's raw, pure chocolate in its purest form, so you don't have to worry. It's not like eating a chocolate bar, right?
Exactly.
So there's no added sugars, there's no added fillers or anything like that. It's the raw chocolate. And the one last thing I'll say is that chocolate actually makes us feel blissful, and it's from this chemical called anandamide. Our body naturally produces anandamide, and what happens when we eat cacao is it prevents our body from letting go of the anandamide that we naturally produce, and it keeps it around longer, making us feel happy for longer.
Hold on to that happiness. You stick around. We'll be right back after this quick break. We talked about protein, we talked about cacao, and so now we're going to go to the weird green stuff.
So that's spirulina powder. That's spirulina powder, and it's a blue-green algae, so it's found in the ocean.
That's why it's weird.
It's very dark and somewhat intense looking, but it's very, very good for us.
Okay.
It's the highest protein food around. So it's 60% highly absorbable, pure, digestible vegetable protein for us. So as I talked about before, having the protein is really, really important, helps to stabilize our blood sugar and all the benefits of having protein. And it's also super high in beta-carotene, vitamin B12, and iron. And as we know, vitamin B12 and iron help to produce those red blood cells. If we don't have enough red blood cells, that can lead to anemia, and energy depletion. So we really want to make sure that we're having adequate B12 and iron in our system, and that helps to provide us with that as well.
And it says gram for gram, 93 times more iron than a steak.
Exactly. Yep. It's a very
8 times more chlorophyll than spinach. 2 times more protein than ground beef.
Yeah. So
Kinda
for
cool.
a vegetarian, vegan, or anyone on the planet, even if you are a meat eater, it is something great that you can incorporate. The way that you would use this, I
was going to say, how do you eat it?
Yeah, I mean, you could put it into water and take it down like that, or you can put it into your smoothie. So oftentimes I'll make a superfood energizing smoothie, toss that in.
Okay.
A tablespoon's worth or whatever.
Does it taste like anything?
If you smell it, it smells a little bit fishy. It smells like you would
the
imagine
ocean?
it to smell. But when it's incorporated into your smoothie, you don't really taste it, no.
It does. It smells like the ocean.
It smells like the ocean a little bit.
Something that doesn't smell like the ocean, I tasted this before.
Yeah, so those are hemp seeds. And we've talked about a whole bunch of different seeds on the show already, but hemp seeds are the seeds that provide us with the ideal range of omega-6 to omega-3. Now we want a range, there's a specific range, we want a 4-to-1 ratio, and it provides us with that ratio. So it's the best form of omegas that we can find. It's also, again, a really good source of protein for us.
Okay.
It has a full spectrum of amino acids that we need. It's a good source of fiber and a good source of carbohydrate. So it really has all those energy boosting ingredients in it. And again, it has B vitamins as well. So we talked earlier about the stress busters. Vitamin B was on that list. So it provides us with sort of the stress busting qualities as well. The one thing about the hemp seeds though, if you're gonna use something like a hemp oil, because there is oil made from hemp as well, or even the hemp seeds, they go rancid quickly. So you wouldn't want to buy mass quantities of them if you're not going to use them in a short amount of time. And you would maybe want to keep them in your fridge as well. That'll help to preserve them.
And I might add that it tastes good too.
Oh, they do
taste good. Yeah. So it has all the benefits, and you're achieving all the large words.
Exactly.
Check, check, check.
Exactly.
But it tastes good.
Exactly.
And that's important, for me at least.
Exactly. You don't want something, obviously, that's not going to taste good. You're not going to use it.
You won't use it.
And, if you're making a smoothie, we'll just make a superfood smoothie as we go across the table. You can toss those in as well with the cacao and the spirulina powder and the hemp seeds and make yourself a superfood smoothie.
A chocolate sea, ocean water, hemp drink.
Exactly. Exactly. So the last item on my energy boosting list are nuts and seeds. So really getting almonds, hazelnuts, Brazil nuts, walnuts, sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, whatever seeds and nuts that you like. Again, really high in protein for us, high in fiber, and they're going to help to stabilize our blood sugar, therefore providing us with energy as opposed to having an energy crash. What I made here, these are seed clusters.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of trail mix, and I can't have nuts, I have nut allergies, but I like to have seed trail mixes, sometimes put coconut in there or some dried fruit as well. These are seed clusters that are held together actually by honey, and we've talked about honey lots of times before, but the honey also is another great energy booster and a natural energy booster for us as well. So so in here there's pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, flax seeds, and sunflower seeds, and a little bit of dried fruit. And it's just a really good snack.
Nice and shiny.
Yeah, it's just a really nice snack to have in the afternoon. You can take it to work or school, and it just really gives you that boost that you need in the afternoon.
It's very good.
Those are delicious. Those are now those are my snack. That's it for me now.
It's very, very good.
Yeah,
I love the sesame.
Yeah, and all you would need really is one of those. They're so dense and they're so packed with nutrients and fiber and protein and all these great things that you would just need one and you'd be satisfied. So instead of reaching for a bag of chips or a bag of whatever, that's going to leave you more hungry in the end anyways, have one of those, and they take 8 minutes to make. And my recipe will be on my website as well, so you can learn how to make those.
Perfect. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're talking about top 10 tips for what?
For detoxifying and rejuvenating our systems come the springtime.
Okay, that sounds great. And we've got everything here from steel cut oats to soybeans. Are those soybeans or chickpeas? Flaxseed, parsley, ginger. That looks like water, but...
we're going to talk about that. That's a parsley and ginger tea.
Okay, don't go anywhere. More with Shannon Kadlovski here on In the Know when we return from this short break.